Hello and welcome to another episode of Anime Club. I'm Kris and that is Phoebe. Alright, I think it cut out.
Oh, did I?
Yeah, I think you're too loud for the mic.
Too loud. The noise suppression was like, no, that has to be a mistake.
What is this volume? I'm going to cut that out.
People are telling me that in real life all the time. Can you stop? That's too much.
Sadly, they can't turn you down.
No.
But, yeah.
I was about to get really dark then I won't. Although it would be appropriate for this week's anime.
Well, actually, before we're getting into it, I said, right, because we've got these snack boxes, and I said, Phoebe, before we start, should we just have a sneaky one of the treats before, just for us, just to keep to ourselves and that. And so I picked...
And I said, no, we're going to film everything because our lives belong to the internet now.
But so I picked this one. As you can see, mine's already open and I've ate a quarter of one. I'm dubbing it the foot crisp.
Oh, I see what you smell. So
Yeah,
Kris described this to me as smelling like burnt crisp packets.
Yeah.
And I can see.
Oh, she's took a bite of it.
It's alright.
Yeah.
It tastes like a rice cracker. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. I'm actually disappointed you built that up to be so horrific.
Oh, I think maybe after years of smoking, I might have better taste buds than you. I just taste the foot.
Maybe I just like feet. Maybe this is how I find out that I've got a new kink.
This is the litmus test the bouncers at the special club use. But do you like this biscuit?
Does this make you feel like more hungry, a bit more-ish? Come on in, man. I'd never go to a club that mammed me.
I've never been mammed.
No, of course you haven't.
But I paid for it. But yeah, anyway, this week's anime, we're going to talk about Dorohedero, which is a Netflix exclusive.
I think so.
Yeah, so we watched the first 3 episodes, and we're going to see if me and Phoebe will continue on. I know you've talked about it a bit beforehand, so I kind of know your opinion. But should we get into what it's about before we start talking if we like it or don't?
Yeah, I love that. How would you summarise this?
Well,
in your best movie voiceover narrator voice.
Oh, you see, I'm rubbish at stuff like that. I just simplify it.
Okay.
So, that
I would find helpful. So simplify it.
Yeah. So there's a bloke with a lizard head called Cayman. Basically, he's had his head nicked. Someone nicked it, and he lives in this world where there's a place called the Hole, which is where he lives, which is like the hovelly, weird, poverty-stricken place. And there's another place which I can't remember the name of, but it's where all the sorcerers go. And the sorcerers come to the Hole because they can travel freely between the worlds using magic doors, and the poor people are kind of stuck there. And they're like, as sorcerer training, they go and like experiment on the poor people, like give them bug legs and the crocodile heads and all this kind of stuff. And Cayman has had his head turned into was it a cayman crocodile or a lizard?
They describe it as a lizard. It doesn't matter. It's reptilian, isn't it? I don't think that this head exists in nature.
No, especially with the spiky back of the head. But yeah, so basically to find out, to break the magic that's been put on him, he has to kill the sorcerer that put this spell on him. So to find out who it is, he's found out there's a bloke in his throat, or manifests in his mouth, when he puts a sorcerer's head inside of his mouth. So he'll go an apprentice wizard or whoever and just nom them, where their full head will be in his mouth, and there'll be like a ghostly, angry head that goes, "You are not the one." So then you'll take him out and be like, "Are you? What do the blokes say to you?" And the sorcerer will go, "I'm not the one." So he'll be like, "All right, I'll kill you anyway." Huh. And he's got a best mate who's called Nikaido, who runs the local like Greasy Spoon, like it's a proper dirty little gyoza restaurant thing, called the Hungry Bug.
Yeah.
Which has no customers, I don't think, by the looks of it.
From what I can tell. Also, she's rarely there.
Yeah. It's like, do you see how many flies are on the fly tape and stuff like that hanging from the ceiling?
I just thought that was a sign to the restaurant. Dirty bug.
The Hungry Bug?
Oh, Hungry Bug.
Yeah. I suppose they will be hungry on the tape, like.
Yeah. Fuck. That's actually quite a good description of it. I would say that's more cohesive than the first 3 episodes.
So yeah, I did. From the first 3 episodes, it doesn't give you that much. It ekes it out a bit. But speaking of the first 3 episodes, what was your first opinion? What's your first opinion of the characters?
Oh, so the characters, I thought. So in the spirit of Anime Club, I'm not here to like poop on anyone's. I know a lot of people out there love this anime. I'm not entirely sure it's for me. I don't know if I'm the target audience. One of the reasons is because I found it really hard to connect with any of the characters, and that might change. So the things I liked about it were that it's very comical. None of the characters are taking anything too seriously, and I kind of appreciate that. I like the banter that's between the different characters. That was quite good. But yeah, I found it hard to connect with a lot of them. And I think maybe that is also partly by design. Like, you're not quite sure, like, who's the good guys, who's the bad guys. Are you trying to swallow that foot cracker? Just don't eat it if you don't like it.
Don't like wasting it.
We can move on to one of the other snacks. That's okay.
No, sorry, it's okay.
But I found it confusing. So I watched the first 3 episodes, and I did, because I hadn't seen this before, I followed the rules. I watched only the first 3 episodes, but I watched them twice, because the first time I watched it through, I was like, am I missing something? I'm confused what's going on. And then I realised, it's because they haven't told you the plot yet.
Yeah.
So there's no like quick reveal of like, here's the person you're supposed to root for, here's the good guy, here's the bad guy. You kind of get a little hint of like, maybe these guys are okay, maybe they're bad. But there's some sinister stuff. Like, there seems to be sinister stuff going on with everyone.
Mm-hmm.
So to be honest, I'm not quite sure what I thought, because I'm in a kind of slightly confused place by it.
That's fine.
Yeah.
You don't have to like everything that you see, because I mean, that's the joy of anime can be absolutely anything, all genres, and you don't have to like them all. As we found out last week with Frere.
Oh yeah, that wasn't so much for you. Whereas I really liked that.
Yeah. Which it's absolutely fine.
Yeah.
What did you think about that art style though?
Loved the art style. Loved the design. So the design of the characters felt like it's funny because we've just done Trigun, right?
Yeah.
And I thought the art style, the style of it is like 80s, 90s anime, but with slick modern animation technology.
Yeah.
And I really loved it. I really loved how dynamic it was. I loved like the gritty kind of grungy vibe of the whole and all of the landscape art. I actually also really loved the character design in this.
Yeah. I kind of got like a Hellraiser, like the Xenobites with the exposed mouths where it looks like they've been pinned back, which is the masks that they wear. And the heart guy, he wears a mask so his head looks like a heart, which you find out he's just wearing it backwards for some reason.
Yeah, unexplained. Again, unexplained. Don't know why he's wearing it backwards. But it's just, yeah, it was quirky and weird. It reminded me a bit of, have you seen 12 Dancing Monkeys? With Bruce Willis?
Yes.
Where it's like he's like time traveling from
Yes,
like a kind of...
For some reason I'm thinking like 12 monkeys just dancing. Is that like a viral video or something?
I could literally, for a minute there, I just think I actually physically saw you imagining 12 monkeys, and your face was like, yeah. So it reminds me of the design of it. Really reminded me of the bits of that film where you're in the future with Bruce Willis before he gets like sent into the past to save the world.
Yeah.
Like it kind of feels very like taped together. Like all the buildings look like they're being held together with like a nail gun and a prayer.
To be fair, I think that's what they're going for, because
I really
another
like
part of the plot was that because the sorcerers are coming over and being willy-nilly with the magic, they actually expelled this like black dust normally from the hands, which is their magic, and the abundance of that in the hole, which is the poor place, is causing the world to do some weird things. Like, I don't know if you saw, but there's like little devils and like imps and stuff flying about in the air and that kind of stuff. And that's
it's like a corrupting presence.
Yeah. It's kind of like the underworld, but it's a really they've got a lot of detail in it, I think.
Super detailed, and even like so a couple of times I found myself pausing bits, like just to look at the kind of images themselves. And like there's so much like detail and information, and I almost wish I could read like the Japanese kanji on some of the signs, because I bet there's like because like all over the place there are like bits of graffiti and bits of writing, and I'd love to be able to see what that said. Oh yeah, I loved the world they've built. I think I just found the story hard to hook into.
So I was the opposite. I agree with you that none of the characters have kind of like a redeeming personalities, or you want them to root for them. I was kind of wanting to find out more, as in, this is weird. I want to know why he's wearing his mask on backwards, why he has a crocodile head, and why the Cayman's friend who runs the Hungry Bug, why she's hiding that she's a sorcerer.
Yeah. Why is she hiding that she's a sorcerer? Why won't she tell Cayman in particular? Because he seems like he's her friend. Would he kill her if he found out? What's the vibe there?
Oh yeah, because Cayman hates sorcerers. One, for what they've done to his head. He has amnesia, so he's got no like reference in this world. And what they're doing to the hole, which is where he lives as well.
There was one other thing, but I don't know if it's worth us diving into another snack before I go into like another bit that I appreciate.
Of course,
about
I'm always
it.
up for another snack, because they've been recommended.
These ones, yeah. So we did a picture of our snack box into the Nerdy Up North Discord, and we asked people to pick out snacks. So, should we go with Jake, Lee, or Sarah? Who's your favourite? Impossible question.
I'll let you pick.
Fair enough. I'm gonna go with Sarah. Sarah's what she described as the colourful depression pills. Because I am curious about these. They are it is like a blister pack from like some sort of pharmaceutical.
Yeah. Do you know what I don't like though? Can you remember getting a 20p mix up when you were a kid? And do you know when they try to bulk it out by putting penny bubblies in?
Yeah.
I don't like that. I hope these are like... Oh.
What do you hope they are? Because I've just put one in my mouth.
I hope they're like tiny little gobstoppers kind of things.
Mm-mm.
Oh, you're shaking your head. You've got one in your mouth, so... Oh, that was so disappointing. It's like full of air.
They're like crispy Smarties. There we go.
Oh, there's chocolate inside. Yeah, okay. Different ball game.
I thought it was going to be fruity, and then the chocolate came, and I was like, oh.
I do like a bit of chocolate.
Again, though, one of the things I've noticed, I don't know if it's just this particular maker snack box, or if this is a thing about, maybe in this country we're just greedy bastards. Everything's tiny.
Yeah.
All the portions are tiny.
Yeah, Molly wasn't happy because, the pizza balls, she really wanted to try them, and I was like, there's 12 in them. That's a mouthful for me.
They did not last, love.
Yeah.
It was mean of you to lock her out of the house and then not give her a pizza ball, though.
I haven't, don't worry. I just leave the door unlocked. That would have been the 4th time in a row?
It's happened at every anime club that we've filmed so far, except for one, which was the last one, and that's only because you remembered just before we started filming to go check the door.
Yeah.
Classic. So yeah, another thing that I really liked about this was the visual gags. So we talk about like the detail in the scenes and in the costume design and everything. There are a ton of visual gags, and I'm a sucker for a visual gag. So like the spinning the heart face round. Like, I think that's just there just for the gag of it. And then also there's a bit where Cayman's having this like really disturbing dream, and he wakes up and he kind of sits up and the pillow's stuck to the spikes on his head. And I was like, that's funny.
Yeah. That's like
funny.
the...
And then when the pillow...
Sorry?
No, I was just going to say, and then I think it's like, you can see like stuff that's got like holes in it in his hat, in his flat and stuff, where you think, oh, he's got his spike stuck.
Yeah. I mean, I do like that. It just reminds of when Krillin realises that he hasn't got a nose. When he's fighting that giant smelly bloke. I had to get a Dragon Ball reference in because me and Lee are having a competition over Dragon Ball at the minute.
You're having a competition?
Yeah, I mean, I've got barely surface knowledge of Dragon Ball stuff. But because I've got a Dragon Ball Z t-shirt and a hoodie, I say I'm the #1 fan in the Discord. Obviously, he's just released another Dragon Ball episode. It would have been last week.
Ah.
He's he's a Dragon Ball Z guy, and he kind of gets angry when I say I am. Hey, it's Eddie.
He gets angry. Rather than being excited to share his love, he's like, no, I need to be the #1 fan. I did see today he was like weirdly suddenly, like, he never posts pictures of his stuff, and suddenly he was posting a lot of pictures of his stuff.
All of his Dragon Ball Z stuff. Specifically,
yeah. Which was giving me a bit of envy, because he's got like one of the Capsule Corp key rings. And I was like, I want that.
Yeah, it does look cool.
It does.
He is.
But then you've got like 12.
Yeah, but I didn't want to rub it in. I'll let him have this one. Keep him happy.
Yeah. Leslie, so you can enjoy all of that as well as vote for snacks and things in the Nerdy Up North Discord. It's good crack.
But anyway, back to Dorohedero.
So yeah, no, like the visual gags I thought were fun. And I can tell that this is an anime that's had like a lot of thought, a lot of detail put into it by the studio, I would say. So like, even if it wasn't hard to enjoy. It just I was like, I don't know how compelled I feel by the story.
That's fair enough. Were there any characters that you liked in this? Because I know you said you found none of them like relatable or compelling for them to root for you. But can you see like maybe in the future I could like them?
Yeah, maybe. I quite like Nikaido making the gyoza. Anyone who's going to cook delicious anime food will probably be my favourite.
Yeah.
You know, we've got Senshi in Delicious in Dungeons. We've got Millie bringing us donuts in Trigun.
Yeah.
And in this, it was the gyoza that Nikaido was cooking for Cayman. Looked good.
For who, sorry?
For Cayman.
Fighter of the night, man.
Ah! Cayman!
So, what did you think how the women were portrayed in this as well? Because there's a definite look. There's definitely like there's Nikaido, there's Noi, and there's Ebisu. Ebisu's the little skull girl.
Yeah.
Noi's the muscle mummy. And
Yeah.
Nikaido's the like she's built like a brick house as well.
Those Noi. The only one who really isn't built like a brick house is Ebisu.
Yeah, but I can't tell if she's a child or not.
And at one point with the dress, there's a dress malfunction, and it's a bit like... I was a bit like, I'm not sure about that. I don't know about that.
Yeah.
But it's not like... in terms of the portrayal of the women, I think they're all very different from each other.
Yeah.
I would say that, like, Noi definitely has, like, a muscle mummy thing. And I loved the moment where Noi takes off the mask, because when they go for like this, they go for like a formal dinner party thing.
Yeah.
And they all have to like dress properly.
With Mushroom Man.
With Mushroom Man.
Mm-hmm.
He's really giving it his best to be like the edgiest of lords.
Yeah.
Really, really is. And if only for that reason, I feel like he's classic anime villain vibes. But I don't know if he actually is a villain. I'm like, it's hard to tell. I think everyone in this is very morally ambiguous. I think they're out for themselves, actually, rather than having like a kind of moral compass.
Yeah.
But Noi, like taking off the mask and everyone being like, "That's a woman." I kind of liked that. I kind of liked the kind of... I actually don't think it kind of matters if they're male or female in this. They're all just badass. And I love Nikaido's fight scenes. In terms of like anime action fight scenes, there are some great moments. Like when she like in the first fight where she just like whips around a guy and then just breaks his finger with like two of her own. So that he can't cast magic. It's just like so small, so simple, so like decisive. It kind of really sets her up. I think out of all the characters, the one that I would say I'm most intrigued by is Nikaido. I want to know what her deal is. Why doesn't she want people to know she's a sorcerer? Why is she helping Cayman? Like what's the deal?
I've found out her backstory, but I'll tell you after if you're still interested. Because it is a good one, I think. Most of them do, except Cayman's alright.
Yeah.
But yeah, obviously looking into this, I found a couple of people talking about the manga and what happens ahead of it, and it does
always
turn out pretty
a risk.
good. I know.
Yeah.
I did the same with Frieren as well. Afterwards, I had a little look and I was like, oh, actually, this could turn out to something like. I think this is the challenge with the 3-episode rule, right? So the reason that we've got the 3-episode rule is because there's so much anime out there. You don't have time to watch everything. Yeah. And so sometimes you have to have a way of being like, is this the one I'm going to sink some time into? Yeah. But there is like, I think it's interesting that both of us have had like different experiences with Frieren and then Dorohedero, where I think these are both animes where actually you get rewarded with some of the big story reveals later on. Yeah. So the 3-episode rule is kind of maybe not entirely fair, but that is the rule that we govern ourselves by here at Anime Club, and I refuse to learn and change. I refuse. Fair enough. Don't have to.
I'm too old. I haven't got enough time left on this earth.
Dropped the ball.
No. Have you dropped a tiny chocolate ball?
I have.
They're like crispy Smarties. I like them.
Yeah.
I don't know why they're in little pill packets.
So you can pretend that you have your little medicine. Oh, I take enough medicines to have them out of this.
Me too. I've already taken mine for the day. Let's add to it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's intriguing, but I didn't have the immediate pull that I've had with some of the others that we've watched. Where I'm like, I want to watch the rest of this.
See, I kind of like series that are different, because I was just like the two worlds, the wizard world and the sorcerer world, and the non-sorcerer's world, which is like the divide in those two peoples. That was interesting. The sorcerers are the only people that can travel.
That class divide.
Yeah.
Kind of like, and also like, how does someone become a sorcerer? Is it just like luck of birth?
Yeah.
Is that like what's the whole vibe there? Because it feels massively unfair. Yeah.
Maybe it's Maybelline. It's just one of them things. And the whole because that's what brought me into it. It's just like, why is that guy got his head look like a heart? Why does that guy put sorcerers in his mouth? And I'm kind of excited for season 2.
Okay, nice. Why the masks is what I want to know.
I don't know.
Why do the sorcerers all have to? Because it feels like they do and they don't have to wear masks. Like, it feels like when they're out doing their thing, they seem to have some rules about wearing the mask. And you briefly see
formal occasions.
Whereas at formal occasions, they're then told to take it off for dinner. I don't understand what the rules are.
I'm not a very big etiquette person, I don't know.
Do you know, as I was saying that, I was like, oh my god, this is like my worst nightmare in real life, where I'm like, I don't know what the social rules are for this situation, so I'm just going to feel very anxious.
I'll just wear my mask all the time.
Yeah.
Can't go wrong then.
Do we shake hands? Do we hug? Do I kiss them on the cheek? What's the vibe here?
Oh, never kiss on the cheek.
Never! No, see, I would in certain situations.
Would you? Like,
yeah,
what?
for sure. If I was... So when I've worked on, like, theatre productions as, like, doing stage manager and stuff, everyone kisses each other. If I was greeting...
Not an orgy?
No. That's not until the last night, anyway.
Oh.
If I was greeting European family members, I'd kiss them on the cheek. And also in Belgium 3 times. And I was told once by an aunt of mine, always kiss on the cheek 3 times because we are better than the French, who only kiss twice. So don't know if that's a thing or if just my aunt's being a bit weird. Who knows? But I've remembered it.
I'm from the north, we just stare at each other a bit.
Yeah. You'd hug someone, maybe, if you were like saying hi to like a close friend.
Maybe he's on the deathbed or something.
Oh. Fair enough. See, that's the last place I'd want to hug someone. They might have like been there a while.
Etiquette though, isn't it?
You have to hug on the deathbed.
Yeah.
Only in the north, which is anywhere past Birmingham.
Yeah. My Uncle Jimmy, who died of radiation poisoning, it was horrible.
Not a funny joke. That's just sad. Make it stop. I'm going to move on to my second treat, and I'm going with Jake's Flump Alien. I'm going to save the Triceratops from Lee for last.
Yeah, it's fine. We might just skip it out. Have it after. Not even record it.
Super harsh. See, this is fun.
Just before you put the flump thing in your mouth, where do you think the plot's going in the future episodes?
No idea. absolutely no idea. I was genuinely terrified of you asking me this question. No idea. I assume Cayman will continue to hunt sorcerers until he is able to identify someone who the man in his mouth responds to differently and says, "You're the one." What happens when that occurs? No idea.
That's fine. Well, what would you like to happen? What do you think? Weirdly, what?
Coconutty. These marshmallows have like a coconut taste.
Oh yeah. So, you mentioned that the characters are a bit meh for you.
Yeah.
How would you change this to make them more likable for you personally?
I think I just need to. I think part of it is it's very action packed. This anime, which I really like, but it's action packed without time to connect to the characters. Like, you don't find out much about them. So I think if what I might do, well, like I've said, no, I probably won't watch on after episode 3.
No.
But what I might do is actually watch until episode 5, and if I get a bit more character, then I probably can dig in. And if I don't, I'll probably move on to something else. Because I just want to root for someone. Do you know what I mean?
I'll go and root for Cayman or Nikado or Noi.
Pay to root for Cayman. He's just killing people indiscriminately.
Exactly. That's what to be honest, that's
because they're not useful for him.
Oh no.
Okay. Why do you like that about him?
I really like violence. Okay. I just love because there's so much blood in this. In one of the first times, you encounter Ebisu, she's wearing a skull mask, and Cayman meets her and puts her head in his mouth to find out if she's a sorcerer or she's the one or whatever that means. And while taking her out of his mouth, a face catches on one of his teeth, and he accidentally rips the skin off her face.
Whole face.
Yeah. So you see afterwards, and he's just got like a little Ebisu face mask just attached to his tooth.
Yeah.
I just really, I am in a weird, violent film thing at the minute as well.
Yeah, because you've been watching like Tokyo Gore and stuff as well, haven't you?
Yeah, I just love it. Blood spray everywhere.
Yeah. There's a lot of blood spray in this. It really will satisfy the. It's very graphic. It's very graphic.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. I don't mind the violence in it. I think that, like I said, like I love the fight choreography, if you can call it that when it's not real people. But like the way that they stage the fight scenes is very exciting, very dynamic.
Yeah.
And I think if action anime and like hyper violence is your vibe, then this would be like a real treat for the senses.
Yeah, it's like Terrifier, isn't it? Oh, you've never seen that, have you?
I haven't, but I've seen clips. I don't like zombies.
Fair enough.
I think zombies are... The thing is, Kris, I feel like zombies, out of all of the post-apocalyptic scenarios that we could possibly face, other than obviously collapse of nature, I feel like zombies is like next on the list for most likely. Which is a mad mental thing to say, I know. But here we are.
I think it's nuclear apocalypse, but we probably shouldn't dwell on that.
Let's not dwell on it too hard.
Wow, the doomsday clock grows ever closer. Yeah, so you said you're gonna give it to episode 5 and then see. So
yeah, I'm gonna give it a
picture dress. Or are you doing that just for me?
I'm doing it a little bit for you because you seem to be like, it's great, and I'm like, I trust you and your general judgment on stuff. I think also I do find the plot intriguing, even though there isn't really much revealed in the first 3 episodes. I think that's on purpose, and I do like a story that you join halfway through and then you're just spending time trying to catch up what the deal is, because I think That's one of the reasons I liked Freyren as well. Freyren, Beyond Journey's End.
Frere and Rocher.
Freyren Rocher and her little fern friend.
Yeah.
Because that comes in halfway through and you find out the story as you go. And I think this kind of does a similar vibe. They don't give you everything up front. I think I'd probably like a little bit more just to like help me land.
You see,
or at least help me make my mind up a bit.
Do you know if Freren, right, had a guy with a crocodile head nomming on people and more blood, people dying left and right, I would probably like it.
It's actually too peaceful and too ASMR-y. It's too gentle, cozy vibes for you. You needed blood spray.
That is my ASMR. That
her disintegrating a demon in one blast wasn't enough violence for you.
Nah. Couldn't get the suffering.
Dark. This is I can see why you like Berserk.
Yeah, but right. I know you're not a fan of this, but if you had to describe this to a friend who doesn't watch anime, how would you describe it?
Good question. In a world, if you can imagine for a moment...
I've got my imagination. Yep.
If you could put your imagining mask on, please, sorcerer. In a world where there is a real divide between those that have and those that have not, and those that have are really like polluting and corrupting the world, and those that have not are just struggling to get by and to try and work out how to fix the mess that they find themselves in because of actions not of their own doing. If you can imagine a world like that,
right.
but with magic and people's limbs being cut off and stuff, that's Dorohedero.
So do you know what I would have said?
What?
North-South divide, but with magic in it.
I wish. Unfortunately, I feel like that big class divide exists just as much down here, if not more so.
Don't shatter the illusion.
But if it helps you sleep at night...
It does, yeah. It does. In my cold, hard bed down the pits.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't have pits down here. They all got closed, and now we all work in offices. Open plan offices. It's nowhere near as bad as the pits. To be fair, it's like really. Actually, my life's really hard because I have like an open plan office with air conditioning.
Oh no!
But the air conditioning temperature's never like set to what I would like it to be. Oh god, I hate myself. Yeah, no, I think North-South divide's probably fair.
But I think that's all I've got for Dorohedero.
North-South divide, but with magic and weird animal people.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna watch the first season again. I'm definitely gonna watch the second season when it comes out.
Okay.
But yeah.
Yeah. I'd be up for giving the second season a go. I'd be up for giving the first season a full go. If you like it, I'll give it a go. But it's not something that I think if we weren't doing Anime Club and if I hadn't had to watch 3 episodes, I might not have bothered.
No.
Do you know what I mean?
At what point would you have switched off?
Probably around episode 2.
Yeah. That's fair enough.
Yeah. I mean, Noi would have caught my interest again, because we love a giant woman on this channel.
Yeah. She doesn't have donuts, though.
She doesn't have donuts! That would make her perfect. But Nikaido does have gyoza, so...
Yeah. You know, I've only had that from Asda before, not the proper stuff.
Oh. Someone in our Discord channel, is it Catty, she makes them from scratch.
Oh.
There's someone in the Discord channel who's been putting in the foodie channel dumplings in gyoza and they look amazing. And every time she does it, I'm like, oh god, I'm so hungry.
I need to check that out and find out where she lives. Or they live. But yeah, Dorohedero done.
Done. What are we going to do next? Oh,
Well,
we're going to do something a little bit different.
Yes, because we've pre-discussed this, so I know
We've
what I'm
pre-discussed
doing.
it this week.
You know what
Because
you're doing.
we know what we're doing, and we're going to do a film. So we're going to break the rules and do a film, and we're going to do, because it's is it like 50, like how many years? 40th anniversary, thank you, for Studio Ghibli. And we've looked up videos on how to say it, whether it's Ghibli, giblets. Studio Ghibli, which is the pronunciation I'm going with because that's how Miyazaki says it.
Mm-hmm.
So we are going to watch one of the ones that I feel like doesn't get like a lot of like love in the world, but
Yeah.
I think it's quite good, which is Porco Rosso.
Yes.
Yeah, flying pigs, man.
So you've seen this, and I
Yeah.
haven't. I haven't seen as much Ghibli as I would like to. So this is a first for me.
Yeah. And it's a good one because you're going on holiday soon, so it just felt like a kind of let's give you a break before you go on holiday. You could be that pig man, that anti-fascist pig guy up in the air.
And I think one of the reasons why we picked Porco Rosso was in my algorithm I'm getting loads of anime clips now. And you know the clip where Porco Rosso goes, "I'd rather be a pig than a fascist."
Yeah.
And I was like, I need to watch this, I think.
It's got some really good lines in it. I think you'll find it fun, and I think it's a good family vibe as well. It might be one that when Finley's a little older. So yeah, that's what we're doing next week.
Yeah.
That's fair.
So what we're doing this week? There's Monster Monday on Radio People's channel. We'll have Top Grumps on Tuesday. On Friday, I'm not missing anything out. Friday we've got more Anime Club.
More Anime Club. And Wonk on Saturday, as well as the Sunday pod.
Hey!
Wonks usually release on a Saturday. I don't know if they're going to be releasing on this Saturday, but I always look forward to Saturday mornings just in case we get some Wonk.
Get in.
Get in.
Yeah, join the Facebook, the YouTube. We've got Discord as well, where you can chat to us about if you think any opinions are wrong. We'll probably just say, yeah, you're right, we're wrong. But you can talk about it.
Yeah.
Suggest more anime, ones that we haven't heard of, or you would like to see, or even what you might want to come on.
Sounds good.
But yeah, anyway, till next time, Porco Rosso.
Thanks very much. Bye.
Bye.